Hey there, friends. So I'm back with another Oracle reading because last week's was so well received and people seemed really excited about it, and I love to do them. So I'm going to do another one to carry us into this weekend. Or if you're seeing this whenever you're seeing it, then it's the right time for you to be seeing it. This week we're going to read from the Wisdom Keepers Oracle deck. It's a really beautiful one as well. So I'm going to hold the cards against my heart. Calling on these cards to give us a message, some medicine. What is it we need to hear? What is it we need to know right now? And I just mix them up a bit. And I just stop shuffling when it feels right. Ah, this card. Freshness. Trying to get that light ring out of it. Freshness. Let's see what freshness has to say. Oh, it's number 1. It's the first card in the deck. This deck is really cool because there's a story, like a parable, that has a teaching built into it. Okay, let's see. The genius of freshness is to bring something to the world that no other has ever seen before. My wisdom story. People say I was born with a big smile on my face, but as I grew up, I'd suddenly feel sad and depressed without warning, and it scared me. I wanted that low feeling to go away, so I tried to get rid of it. I avoided it, judged it, tried to cathart it, then to fix it. I even tried to predict it and got pretty good at explaining it, but I still couldn't control it. The gloom came whenever it felt like coming, never asking for my permission. For a while, I managed to push the pain away by keeping myself nice and busy. I frenetically filled my calendar and life with people and activities. But eventually, I burned out from all of that busyness. There were days, weeks, even months I couldn't get out of bed. I felt numb, like my life was deteriorating and taken over by entropy. I was convinced something was terribly wrong with my feelings and with me for having them. And I was certain that my sadness was keeping me from creating the life I knew I should have. One day, out of pure desperation, I gave up on judging and fighting the melancholy. And the strangest thing happened. It just went away in its own sweet time, like a cloud floating by, as if it were the most natural thing in the world. And then, to my delight, my creativity peeked out like the sun. Now I allow myself plenty of alone time to simply be. I see my low moments as natural parts of life. I embrace them fully without overanalyzing. The less hard I work at it, the more I find joy and aliveness rising up from within me, as well as a natural desire to express that joy in a creative way. I now trust that it is actually healthy for me to burst forth with freshness and enthusiasm when joy appears, and then to withdraw and enjoy my solitude when my creative rumblings pull me inward. I have the best impact that way. So there's the wisdom story. Now it says, my gift to you. When I look at you and you're feeling down, I know that nothing is innately wrong. Your wise body is recharging, and something deep and creative is growing in your beautiful belly. Please do not worry if you don't have a clue about what's being born. Just do your best to trust and allow for your feelings, and take a little me time. Soon enough, you will feel renewed and ready to burst out into the world with freshness and a new perspective. The more you learn how to embrace your sadness with open arms, the more energized people will feel when they are around you. They will see the light and fire in your soul. Remember, the aliveness and beauty you see in me are in you too. Your joy is more resilient and contagious than you can even imagine, and its timing is perfect. So embrace where you are and trust that your bright light will always appear just when it can have its most inspiring impact. These are the questions for contemplation. Do you often find yourself judging, overanalyzing, or trying to get rid of certain feelings? How does this impact your body? Which of your feelings do you tend to push away the most because of its heaviness? Find a way to give yourself total permission to have and express this feeling today. Write about it in your journal, share about it with someone you trust, listen to a song or watch a movie that captures it. Make a simple feeling collage. Whatever you do, give it space and see what happens. What simple act would bring more beauty into your life today? So, for me with that reading, the two things that stand out, which maybe are quite obvious, is just our capacity, if we allow it, to feel what we're feeling, right? To be with our sadness, to be with our envy, to be with our jealousy, our anxiety, whatever it is we're feeling, instead of this compulsive need in most of us to deflect away from what is uncomfortable to feel. At the same time, I feel like numbing, escaping is also a part of being human, right? And we all do it, whether it's through food or drugs or our phones or TV binges, whatever that is. That's also a natural and okay way to be with things at times. Ultimately, though, in my experience, it's like allowing myself to be in my sadness when I'm sad and not feeling like there's something wrong with me because that's what's happening. Ultimately has served me. It serves us because when we get in touch with the more uncomfortable feelings inside of ourselves, we see first and foremost that we're able to survive them. I think there was a fear in me for a long time that if I really allowed myself to be sad about the things that have made me sad and different traumas, that I wouldn't recover from it, right? I would get lost in that sadness. And only when we allow ourselves to be with the uncomfortable feelings are we able to see, hey, this too, I can survive. There is another side. There is the other side of this. And then, of course, allowing ourselves to feel what is most uncomfortable within us allows us to bring that much more compassion to others who are going through it, because we're all experiencing the same things. Yes, we have our different circumstances that carry us into whatever it is we're feeling, but we're all humans with human minds and human emotions, and the things that actually make us so much more alike, I think, are much more profound than what makes us more different. So when you can be present in your sadness, you're that much more present for others who are dealing with theirs, and that's a beautiful gift, to be able to just be present for somebody who's going through something hard, without needing to fix it, without suggesting that there's something wrong with it, that they're innately flawed or broken. So there's beauty in that. And then the other thing that was mentioned in this freshness is joy, right? And our capacity for joy and our willingness, along with being willing to be in our sadness, because it's part of being human, can we also give ourselves over to joy when the joy is happening? I think sometimes we are so worried about being joyful when there's so much suffering out there that we squelch it. And these moments don't always come along, right? So I really invite us all to not only seek out more joy, but when we've found it, to just revel in it. Just give ourselves over to it, right? And trust that there's not only healing for us in that, there are great gifts in joy and in the energy of joy for others, right? We don't help people out of their misery by rooting ourselves in our own misery. That's not how we transcend misery, right? Joy is a wildly creative, expressive, and powerfully transformative energy. So revel in it when it comes and appreciate it when it comes, right? So freshness. Yeah, and the other thing that was mentioned in there is the idea that it's like seasons. Sometimes we're internal and maybe we want to tell ourselves that we need to be something other than what we are in those moments, but by doing so, we're not acknowledging that those internal moments, those wintry times, are serving us in myriad ways. And one of them is that it's moving us into a different expression of creativity, of joy, of freshness, because we've hibernated and then we're coming out, and as we're slowly coming into spring. I know it's still winter for most people, but it's like, yeah, there's been the hibernation and then there's the expression. And can we get more, can we get better at, for lack of a better word, of just being with all of it, honoring the seasons, honoring where we are, wherever that is, and trusting that that's a part of the path too, and leading us to whatever unfolding is happening. So I hope this resonates. Share your comments. How did this resonate for you? I'm just one person with one interpretation. So what did this bring up for you? And did this card hit you in a good time? Is it connecting with something you're experiencing right now? Again, the card is freshness. And it's from the Wisdom Keepers. And I'm going to keep doing these if you continue to enjoy them. And so much love to you all, and beautiful weekend to you all. I have a writing workshop on March 25th called Writing Yourself. I'm going to be doing these maybe monthly with different prompts every time, or check. And it's really, the last one was so beautiful. The sharing and connection that happens is something else. So join me there, or come to my Breath and Belonging, or join me and my buddy David in Spain on August 31st for a week retreat in Spain. You can find all those links. I'll probably have them in this message. All right, so much love to y'all. Beautiful weekend.